Hey everybody, and welcome to Fade In, a TV pilot podcast. My name is Michael Largent. I am the host of this podcast that has literally just been created. And I myself am a writer who has been struggling to finish my first TV pilot. Because it turns out they're really hard to write. I don't know if you guys knew that. There's a lot of shit that you're trying to get done in about 60 pages or 60 minutes of screen time. And they're just not easy to write. So I think that TV pilots are fascinating. I think that seeing what makes the good ones work so well and what makes the bad ones fall flat is something that's really interesting and not talked about all too often. I feel like a lot of the analysis goes towards movies, but personally, I've always been a bigger fan of TV, so I just wanted to start this podcast to talk about TV pilots, what makes them work, and what some of my favorites are, and which ones you should watch, and which TV shows you should watch. But really, each week, I'm just going to be breaking down a different TV pilot. Sometimes it's going to be shows that I've seen before. Sometimes it's going to be new shows that have just come out. Sometimes it's going to be shows that came out a while ago that I just never got around to watching. It's going to be pretty varied. Sometimes it'll be comedies, dramas, might even throw in some kids shows or anime in there. I don't fucking know. Like, keeping my options open at this point, but there's going to be a good variety of stuff on there. And ultimately, I want it to be thought-provoking. I want it to be entertaining, and I want it to be somewhat educational. But I'm doing this as much to learn myself as I am to teach other people or entertain them. So I am really looking forward to doing this show. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to do. And the first episode I was talking about Amazon's show, The Boys. So go ahead and give that a listen if you haven't already. But thank you guys so much for tuning in and giving this podcast a chance. I think it's got some real potential, and I really just want to be as entertaining and educational and interesting as I can possibly be. So I appreciate you checking out the podcast. If you're interested in my social media, I'm Fade In Podcast on Twitter. I'm at Fade In Pod on Instagram. FadeInPodcast.com is the website domain that I bought from GoDaddy for $1. So there may or may not be a website built out by the time of this episode airing. Hopefully there will be, and you can see that on FadeInPodcast.com, but no guarantees. I got other stuff to do with my life. And my email is fadeinpodcast@gmail.com. If you got any questions, you want to recommend a show to me, you can do it on any of those platforms. And thank you guys so much for checking out the show. I hope that I can deliver an interesting and valuable podcast for you to listen to.